Hi everybody, this is Diana Palm, the Love Witch, and today we're going to be talking about healing your inner child so that you can stop blaming everybody else for your unhappiness. Many people would refer to this as the poor me syndrome, but before we dive into it, I want to let you know that it's entirely normal if you have been living your life this way, because many of you actually have childhood wounds that you've been carrying forward. And based on the way that you've been programmed from your early childhood, you've repatterned and reduplicated many similar relationships that leave you feeling helpless and hopeless again and again. This is why it's so powerful for you to realize that if you've been living your life feeling like everyone else is doing things to you to hurt you, that seem unfair to you, or that make you feel unloved or unvalued, that it is mostly not all of them, but most likely the way you are programmed internally. This does not mean that it's your fault. It certainly does not mean that anything is wrong with you. What it means is your inner child experienced some sort of trauma that kept it from maturing into the adult self. And when you realize that this is where unhealed emotions stem from and how you experience them as an adult, that you can quickly change your perspective on all of those scenarios and situations. The first thing you should do when you want to blame somebody else for the way that you're feeling is to really recognize that your inner child has been activated. An old familiar wound has been triggered within you, and you're most likely going to react or overreact to the situation that's going on currently. The best thing you can do in this moment is to take 3 deep breaths, all the way in through your nose and then out with your mouth. When you take 3 nice deep breaths, you can become centered. You can recognize that you are your adult self, that you no longer have to perceive that you're in danger, and you can shift your perception on the situation at hand. It can really help pull you out of the timeline from your childhood wound and put you smack dab right in the current timeline and right into today's situation, where you can realize, I am a grown-up, I am an adult, I have a mature perspective, I have many negotiation skills, I know how to handle conflict, I know how to find solutions, I know how to get along with people, I know how to overcome things, and I know how to get a larger perspective on the situation so that I don't feel like I'm being targeted by others. This is the most important thing, because many of my clients, they move through life feeling like they're being targeted. They feel like life is unfair. They feel like no matter where they show up, they're being shunned or not listened to or not valued or perhaps treated badly. If you have been like this and you've been thinking the same kind of thoughts, recognize this is your inner child, and there are patterns of thoughts that keep you stuck in a loop where you're recreating scenarios that make you feel that same way over and over. When you shift your perception, when you heal that inner child and bring that inner child up to par with who you have become as an adult, you actually start to behave differently, and you start to look for solutions to all situations, and you start to really navigate through those kinds of challenges. You can train yourself to see the silver lining. You can train yourself to show up different. You can train yourself to stay calm and centered and to not take things personally. And in doing so, you actually shift the way that other people are seeing you and treating you. And this is where you get to really experience an up level in the way that you've been experiencing life. This is where you can experience showing up calm, collect, confident, full of self-love, and being able to project love to others, even if they have maybe not behaved that way all the time in the past. If you stay consistent in your vibration and you stay consistent in the way that you show up, it will definitely shift the way that others perceive you and treat you. This is so important for you to learn, because many of you are actually empaths, especially if you have been reacting out of your inner child wounds and have been getting triggered over and over by others' behaviors. It's really valuable to know that you have the ability to shift this by shifting your perspective. Now, this is a lot of the work that I do with my individual clients through private sessions or through group coaching and healing sessions. I work with their unconscious programs, with their genetic programs, and with their inner child based on the way they became programmed in their early childhood. We work to clear their traumas and to reduce or release the triggering events in their lives while downloading new feelings to help them really stabilize in their emotions so they can finally move forward in life. I'm sure you guys know this saying. When you point your finger out at someone else, there are 3 more fingers pointing right back at you. And this is true. It's hard to hear this sometimes. I know this. In my early life, I felt victimized by many things that happened around me. There were some situations that really were victimizing at the time. There were things that made me feel very disempowered and very scared because I didn't have some of the tools that I needed or some of the skills for adaptability and survival as a grown-up. Of course, moving through those experiences and healing them allowed me to gain the perspective, the emotional maturity, and the skills to be able to move forward in life in a new way. Aside from overcoming difficult situations, my success came from doing the healing work on myself and really healing the triggers in my life and my inner childhood wounds. So I know that this healing works, and my clients have experienced the same successes that I have. If you would like to work with me, be sure to go to my website at www.dianapalm.com and set up a private session with me to really get in there and help you clear some of these things that have been triggering you and keeping you anchored in your past, anchored into your inner childhood wounds. Let's get you healed so that you can experience a better, more abundant, more loving life. And if you choose to work on these things alone, then here's how you can move forward. Really recognize that whatever is triggering you, whenever you want to blame somebody else for the way that they're showing up, what they've said to you, or the way that they're behaving, instead of taking it personally, take that moment to take your 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes and say to yourself, I'm safe. I know how to respond in this situation. I have the correct answer. I know how to move forward. I'm solution oriented. I always know the next best solution. I know how to navigate this kind of situation. I have the expertise needed. I have plenty of adult experience to help me move forward through this experience. I'm loved and supported by the universe. I'm loved and supported by the Creator, by the heavens, by my spiritual guides, by the angels, by my loved ones in spirit. So even if it doesn't seem like there are others around me supporting me, I know that I support me, and I do know that I am supported by the unseen world. I know that I'm guided, protected, and loved by spirit. I know that I'm never alone, and I know that I can rely upon my inner self to guide me through the situation in the highest and best way, with the best outcome for all involved. If you practice saying things to yourself like that, you're gonna find that you no longer stay in your inner childhood wound, and you no longer get triggered in the same manner that you may have been experiencing. When I'm in a private session with clients, I actually can energetically pull out the programs that have caused trouble and patterns and replace them with more positive programs and feelings to support it. But you can do this for yourself as well if you stay consistent and if you continue to affirm that you do have all the skills you need, that you know everything you need to know to navigate through a situation, and that you're in perfect alignment with others who can come in and help you find solutions to whatever situation you're going through. Many times when you're navigating inner childhood wounds and issues that you get triggered on, it can become quite emotional, and that's probably the key to recognizing that you might be out of alignment with the current scenario or what's going on in your life. When you feel highly emotional, where it can almost be erratic, where you're blaming somebody or where you feel unsafe and your emotions have gotten the best of you. This indicates that you're reacting out of your inner childhood wound, that you're reacting from a place of disempowerment, where things are becoming exaggerated and seem larger than what you can handle. And taking your time to breathe, taking your time to make the affirmations that I mentioned in this video will help reset your mind and help clear your energy. The next thing you can do is actually go out in nature, go for a swim, go and exercise, and really allow your mind to shift out of the old program that it's running. It's like taking an old record off the record player and allowing yourself to put a new one on. It does take practice, especially when you're doing it alone, but you can do this. The most important thing is you need to break the cycle, break the patterned behavior, and create some space to stop running that old program, that old record that's been keeping you in a very disempowered, very unhappy state. Let me know if this information has helped you and if you've been able to utilize this to help shift out of disempowered thoughts back into very empowered, happy, and confident thoughts. Let me know how other people react to you as well, because your behavior indicates how others will show up to treat you. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I can't wait to see you in the next video.